So let's take a look at using some of these things like this notation and finding inverses of functions. So using inverse function notation, we have a function f. It's a discrete function with the coordinate points 2, 3, 4, 7, 6, 9. They want to know what f inverse is. This is called f inverse. Okay, so let's take a look at f inverse. What we need to do is just switch the coordinates, the x and y coordinates. So we're going to do that first here. Now this is f inverse. Sorry about that, a little sloppy on my 3. There's f inverse. Okay, there's the red one. Finished. Now the blue instruction is to find f inverse of 7. Now that just means that in my inverse function, if I input a 7, they're asking what is the output. So f inverse 7 is an output of 4. We see that we get, here's the inverse, right? We input a 7, we get out a 4. It's as simple as that. Okay, and then now the very last question they're asking is, the very last question they're asking is, we want a composition of these two inverses, and then we want to know what happens with 6. This means this: f inverse is going to be the outer function. We're going to take a 6 and put it into the actual regular function, okay, the plain old f function. So we're going to take and put in a 6 into the f function, right? Then that output is going to become the input of the inverse function. So let's see what we get. So you notice this is asking for the regular function. If I put in a 6, what do I get out? Okay, so this right here is a 9. I'm just going to put 9 right there. So this becomes a 9. So now it's saying, hey, into the inverse function put a 9. Okay, well then what am I going to get out? By golly, I'm going to get out a 6. Okay, now that should make sense because inverse functions undo one another. I can have a function undo another function, just like I can have square root undo a squaring. I can have a function undo another function, and that's exactly what inverse functions do when I compose them. Okay, so we're saying, hey, the composition of f inverse and f of 6 is 6. Okay, I do something and then I undo it. Okie doke. Hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching.